Talk to me about what you saw yesterday, because you've been on scene. You're the one, the audience probably knows, but you're the one who found the blood, the droplets of blood still left outside of the front door, the one of the news media. Obviously, we believe the cops had this, but they turned the house back over to the family and they left it unguarded. And you went on the doorstep like a good old-fashioned shoe leather reporter and found the actual evidence, which was shocking to see. And then, Brian, they reassumed custody of the house yesterday.
Yeah, that was kind of shocking. I was just out there, I'd been out there for like 36 hours just waiting to see if anything happens. And the Guthries had hired private security to come out and just sit in the driveway. So we were used to seeing them. But then all of a sudden around 4:30, all of these deputies drive down the street in unmarked pickup trucks and in like a big evidence van. And then they all got out of, there were others that got out of a minivan. And at first I thought they were FBI, but I do think they were local sheriff's deputies. They were in just plain clothing. And all of a sudden, I got this video. They start putting the crime scene tape back up, and they all get out of the car, and we put our drone up right away because it's hard to really see what's going on because it's the house is kind of set back and there's all the cactuses, and we could see that they were searching the area around the house, but then also they were going in and out of the garage with evidence bags. Bringing things out, and it looked like we were trying to see through the windows. There was one room in the front of the house that they were definitely in the entire time, and they were there. Yeah, there's our shot of the.
This is your video, by the way, as you're speaking. We're showing of the garage.
Yeah.
You got this with your drone. Keep going.
That's the garage, yeah. And so they were. I think they knew what they were after because it all seemed just so coordinated. Because they put the tape up, they were there for just 2 hours. Then they all packed up very quickly. They took the tape down, and they were gone.
And what happened in the back of the property? Same, like more searching back there? Because as you know, our mutual friend, Ashley Banfield, is reporting that a law enforcement source told her a bunch of things, including that the back door was wide open when law enforcement showed up and that the Ring camera, it was a Nest camera, had been destroyed, both the one in the front and the one in the back. So there is some question about whether the intruder may have used the back door and what happened back there, because they were behind the house yesterday. No,
they were behind the house, and they also had a canine that they had out there, sniffing around and going around the house. But it seemed like they were more focused inside the house. I mean, at first they did a search around the house, which you can see here. They went out into the brush, but then it seemed like most of the time then they all went into the house.
What was the grid search you reported on yesterday?
So I was going back and forth between Nancy's house and Annie's house, which is about 10 minutes away, just trying to kind of keep an eye on both places. And when I was driving back to Nancy's house in her neighborhood, there was another search happening with about half a dozen deputies where they were, lined up doing a grid search in a field near her house. So I don't know if they got
the way you do. Like, forgive me, to find like a dead body potentially,
right,
like where you're sort of shoulder to shoulder walking together.
Correct. Or like a little piece of evidence. That way they don't miss anything. They all line up. So they were doing that. And then the night before, right before the sunset, there was this helicopter that came out, a sheriff's office helicopter that did a pass over the house. So at first I thought like, oh, maybe they were just coming to check on things. But then they were there for an hour, hovering very, very low with two deputies peering out the helicopter, looking down and just circling the house. So I think they're probably getting different tips coming in that they have to run out on and check on. Maybe they heard there was something in the field yesterday and that's why they were there. But they've definitely been very active.
We have this online video of Nancy Guthrie's house and the property around it, and it really does show the backyard. It's not that big. You can see there's brush. Can we put it on the screen, please? There's brush in the back of the house, but it's not like huge. This is just from Google Maps. So it's like it wouldn't take that long to search that, Brian. In other words, like it's very manageable to make sure, God forbid, she's not back there or a weapon wouldn't be back there. It's not a ton to search. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong at all. And that area, like I said, it's wooded with cactuses, but it's also kind of open. Like it wouldn't be terribly difficult to search. And they did a search the first day too. They had Border Patrol out here. They had the Border Patrol dogs. So it seems like they've been pretty thorough in terms of searching the land around the house.
Mm-hmm. So now what happened at Annie Guthrie's house, where, by the way, she lives there with her husband, Tommaso, right?
Yeah.
And is Savannah staying with them?
She is. It's my understanding she is staying there. We haven't seen her come out, but we heard she was there, and it makes perfect sense because when I saw them go in with the ring light and the tripod, and then they recorded the video, I presume inside that house with Savannah. So I'm
Hmm.
99% sure she's there. And
Can you describe the house for us? Like what kind of house is it?
yeah, it's kind of a ranch style. I think they bought it a couple years ago for $650,000. It's a nice house. The neighborhood is similar to Nancy's neighborhood, where the houses all sit on maybe
Hmm.
like an acre of land or a couple of acres. It's not right in town. It's out also in the foothills. And it's just kind
And
of
what do they do for a
it's
living?
kind of like a normal
Annie
house.
and her husband.
Annie is a poet. Like, I don't know that they have, I mean, I hate to say it this way, but I don't know they have like real jobs. Annie's a poet. And Tomas is like in a band, and I think was a teacher. I was looking through records yesterday. I know he either worked or still works at a charter school. And so they have like normal cars. I think she has a Camry, and then there's an SUV. And so I saw Tomas and Annie together leaving the house the day before yesterday. So that would have been Tuesday. I didn't see Tomas at all yesterday, and none of my like friends or colleagues that were out there keeping an eye on the house saw him either. But we did see Annie outside the house yesterday, and we saw Savannah's brother there. They were coming and going. And the FBI was there the day before yesterday. And then yesterday, the only agents that I saw were those ICAC agents that were going in, presumably to help make the video.
Yeah. Ashley's reporting that the authorities seized Annie's car the day before yesterday. Did you see two cars on property, or do you have any reason to, believe or disbelieve that particular piece of her reporting?
Yeah, I don't have any reason to disbelieve it, but I don't know that I saw one car outside and there could be a car in the garage. No one got any video of a car being towed, which I think is kind of interesting just because you know how it is at these things. There's like always some camera outside. There's like these paparazzis that show up and freelance people who
Mm-hmm.
stay there all night. So I'm kind of surprised we never saw any video. I mean, that would be kind of a big deal for the car
That's
to
a
be
good point.
towed, you know?
That's a good point. Well, we don't know whether it's true. Even Ashley doesn't know that it's true. She was told by one single senior law enforcement source that it was, and no one else has been able to match the reporting on that or the other piece about Annie's husband, Tomas, which also remains unconfirmed. But we don't know what's happening there. No reporting, right, at this point about any suspects or persons of interest,
Right. That's right.
other than Ashley's.
Right. That's the only reporting I've heard. The latest from the sheriff is that there's no known suspect and no person of interest, which back to what Ashley has said, I mean, it wouldn't be uncommon for them to be essentially lying to us. I mean, we've seen it happen again and again in other cases. But they seem pretty passionate when they say that they don't have a suspect.
So what did they do at Annie's house? Did they search Annie's house, or did they just go inside with camera equipment to help us presumably film that video?
Yeah, I didn't see them searching at all. I just saw them go in with the camera equipment, and then the day before, just kind of talking to them in the driveway. And the thing is, not, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure Savannah's staying there. It would make sense that they would be coming to the house frequently to give them updates, to check
Yeah.
on them, to talk to them. So I don't think it's that unusual that the feds are coming in and out.
Yes. And just to be clear, over at the mom's house, Nancy's house, there were two searches yesterday, one in the afternoon and then another one in the evening that included the garage and the helicopter overhead.
So the one search earlier in the day was not actually at her house. It was close by in the field. The only search at her house was
Mm.
the one later at 4:30, where it was kind of the big hubbub where they shut everything down, put the crime scene tape up. So that was the only search at her actual house.
Two other quick questions. The Daily Mail today is reporting that Nancy Guthrie did not attend a church in person and that she hadn't been for years since the COVID pandemic, that instead she'd been participating in the live stream into this church. And they had one source at the church who told them that. The church, for the record, is not saying that on the record. They're not saying anything. They're saying we're not commenting. But they're saying there'd be no way for anybody to know who was participating in the live stream. It's not like a thing where you can see who's joining. People live stream in or they don't. Now, that would be a material change from the story that the sheriff told, which was that somebody at church noticed Nancy wasn't there. She was a religious churchgoer, and that person called the family out of concern. Have you heard anything on this either way?
So the church near her house that we went to, the pastor told my producer the same thing that the Daily Mail is reporting, that she switched to online after COVID and what didn't come to church on Sundays. I just assumed maybe she also went to a different church. That was just my first assumption, that maybe we had the wrong church, or
Mm-hmm.
that she had switched in the last couple of months, or maybe, sometimes people go to like a couple churches. Maybe she goes online to that one sometimes and likes a different one too, some Sundays. So I didn't read into it like the sheriff definitely had the wrong story. I just thought, gosh, maybe there's another church we don't know about.
Yep, that could be was yet another button we need to close. Last but not least, what are we expecting at the presser that happens today at 1 p.m. Eastern?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, it's been so unpredictable with this sheriff. The first couple of days he was very open, and every time you would call or interview him, he would kind of give you a new little nugget. And then once the FBI got involved at the last press conference, he was much, much more guarded. So I'm not sure what to expect. I mean, he's obviously going to have to comment on the search yesterday, on Savannah's new video. The last time we've seen him on camera, said that he believed that Nancy Guthrie is alive, which was kind of a big statement to make. So I'm interested to ask him about that. So honestly, I
I know,
don't
but then
know.
he followed it up with, I have to believe that. I have
Yeah,
to keep
well, and
my,
that's the other thing.
my
He'll
hopes
say,
up. It's like,
yeah,
all right.
he says these things, and then he says and then he'll say, well, that's what my gut tells me. And it's like, okay, so is this
I
based on
know.
the investigation, or is this based on what your gut is telling you? It's like kind of weird.
Yeah. I feel like we're 3, 2, 1 until the FBI takes over. International disputes, inflation, rising national debt, digital currency. There is a never-ending list of reasons that gold has risen over 700% in the last 20 years. And a never-ending list of reasons smart Americans diversify a portion of their savings into precious metals with Birch Gold Group. Gold can thrive during uncertainty, which is why it's a crucial part of a balanced strategy. It gives you peace of mind, given all the events that could impact the U.S. economy. See if holding gold in a tax-sheltered retirement account is right for you. Birch Gold can help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold. Just text MK to the number 989898 to receive your free info kit on gold. There's no obligation, just useful information. With an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau and tens of thousands of happy customers, consider letting Birch Gold help you diversify with gold, so you too can have peace of mind regardless of the uncertainty. Text MK to the number 989898. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.